A pretty big revelation, considering not many of us had heard of him just a year or so ago. Still playing around this G2 area, Spinks. Looking for jewels, but none for the moment. Snappy flashed out. That's a great piece of team play. 2-man advantage now for ENCE.
Certainly. So, hit and run style, Assassins and Hades is another player that steps up to the plate and delivers. Try and shut down Hades. Is successful on that endeavor, but the bomb's been spilled, and the round surely will follow. With just 30 seconds, ENCE trying to do his level best to make this as costly as possible. In terms of the round, it's pretty much done.
Yeah, surely. Look at the bomb all the way over towards B. 20 seconds, even a couple frags here just for the kill bonus would be a result, I think, for Kenzie. Daicha behind the kind of cube there. But it's not going to matter. Spinks, he makes it 2. And I have to say that kill from Snappy with that player in towards the cubby, that was...
And the Israeli in Spinks is able to start to get a quick look towards the side, but be careful what you wish for. His eyes closed again from Kenzie's AK, who goes in for more. Had no right to get those 2 kills. And although forZe were looking a little bit lackluster and worse for wear, suddenly a 1v3. Snappy has it all to do by himself. Now, the fact the bomb's not been planted just yet means that Snappy doesn't have to force this. He can wait a little bit longer, but there's Kenzie again for his ace.
A wild round from the Russian player, and considering they started that off man down.
Very surprised that Norway got that frag, considering it was a Mach 10 up against the M4, but now Diha from the back stabs 2. Could be a 3rd. And Shalvi's going to go in for that peek, getting tagged up, whittled away from the red room, and it's Dotto that puts the final nail in the coffin. Kenzie, a man possessed. Bloodlust has not been satiated just yet. Wants more frags, but won't be finding any more. ENCE may lose, but they answer in the best possible way. Barring a miracle or a massive overstep from ENCE. Sticking the site now, flashes through. They now at this point know that the remaining players are all lumped in on the donut. Sprayed through there, a lot of damage being put down. There's not much time left. Hades holding the line, bodyguards his teammate. And although Zorti does put 2 frags through the smoke, it's too little too late to salvage the round.
And still leaning 2 on towards B, but Hades, look at the information play, so proactive. He knows there's nobody towards B, and that's even better. That's the cherry on top. Snappy still in towards Cheetah. Peeks out at a great timing. 5 on 3 now. Kenzie looks for the reply, and this round has fallen apart for forZe. Shalfie next to full, and it's just Zorte left alone. AWP in hand. It's a nice first shot, but it feels too much. Too much to do. Deitch is not facing. He's getting surrounded. Spinks is coming in from behind. Not sure where to look, and
invest onto the A side of the map. They have to have full confidence in Diha, and he has missed his shot. Smoked down, though, to try and plug open that gap, but Zorte does answer back in kind. Dotto closing the gap, but with a smoke down in his eyes, he'll do well to not fall by the wayside. Shalvi's first frag comes into play, and Hades has missed. It's looking good for the Russians to pick up their second.
Yeah, definitely need to save here. Do ENCE. A little bit of money in the bank, but keeping that AWP going will do wonders, breaking that ENCE economy if they want to get a reasonable half out of this. Good proof as well that all the talk about, losing your reactions in the late 20s is mostly a load of hoo-ha. Snappy again loves playing these off angles in towards Cheetah. So confident just to face, and the flashes, Vince, they are so good. Of course, Snappy's hitting great shots, but it really feels like a team effort here from ENCE, and they are just destroying forZe on this CT side. As the time really dwindles here, I think he recognizes the situation, Vince, and he actually ran out there to die before the end of time. So 9-2.
If you didn't know much about Counter-Strike, you'd be forgiven for thinking that maybe ENCE were the attacking team with how much aggression they've been throwing in the first 10-15 seconds of each and every single map. Round here, Spinks, great flash, great spray, and a great result. Snappy's gone down elsewhere from Norway, but it doesn't really matter because 3 forZe players have bit the dust. And it feels like a bit of deja vu. 1 step forward, several steps backwards for the T side, and Norway has to push through that smoke. He may get the timing on Dotto, but now his position is compromised, and with him being the last player alive, they can all put their eyes towards his location.
Bomb is well in a near unrecoverable position, and I don't think we're going to see the save attempt like we saw last time around. So 8 to the good, 10-2 for ENCE on their opponents. Tough times here for the Russian in-game lead, and they decided really to up the pace here. Caught in the open as well as Hades. I think he's very, very lucky to be getting out of that one with his life. Norvi does get a trade, so 4-4 it's going to be. Utility starting to go down, but Spinx is on the flank, and the timing, Vince, is unbelievable. Spinx is out of this world.
The timing, but also the spray control was so slick. Jerry with a post plant. Well, he's been playing, don't really fancy him to do a great deal out of this one. He's going to come head-to-head with his opposite number in the form of Snappy. And it's Snappy, as has so often been the case, that has his hand raised in the air as the victor. Do something with it. However, there is a flank coming round. Spink from the T-spawn is moving into position. Takes the head of Jerry. Can he go any better than this? He's doing a lot of damage to ENCE. Sprays down, drops the bomb, drops Novi as well. He's doing it all alone. The Israeli is untouchable right now. Up to 19 frags. This round looked good for forZe.
Spinx, man, he certainly saw Snappy all the way up the scoreboard. He said, well, that's not the way it's going to go. 13-2 for ENCE.
It's do or die. It's insert cliche here. Like, they simply have got to hold on to this with both hands. And speaking of both hands, D has got a gun in both of his. And it's going to be the Julies that yield the first frag for ENCE. However, Shalvi at the back of the site doing damage, but D has spins around on a swivel and picks up a quick-fire 3K. ENCE have the player advantage, but only for a few moments. Before ENCE shows his hand, D-Hat is still in with a real opportunity to take this round and make it his, and it's yet another headshot. We could be having another ace on our hands if this goes the way of D-Hat, and it will! ENCE, the last recipient of bloodshed, and D-Hat picks up his own ace. And Jerry's thinking about going down for that peak, but that would be to his downfall, you have to feel. And ENCE are being so patient here, Alan. I'm loving it. They're not rushing into this trap just yet, but perhaps I spoke too soon. But D-Ha removes the head. Shalvi comes straight back with one of his own before Jerry puts an end to Spinx. Bomb dropped down, but still 50 seconds to rotate if they want.
Very chaotic here on B, but look at all the space that Snappy is gaining in towards mid. Jerry, though, he drops the bomb. Dotto is well traded out. Drop the bomb, and now Snappy alone. 19 seconds remaining. Players spread out so much. First takes contact. Shalfi peeks out, and forZe not looking to push out. Zorte playing around with the off angles. Player boosted on the box here, and Snappy for an opportunity, but Zorte says no. Finds another, tapping away. It's like a game of DM for him. He hides in the corner, makes it 3. And 4, not quite the ace. Spinx denies it. That's a brilliant second deagle shot, though. Just Jerry on the site. So Jerry, he denies the play of a lifetime. Nice deagle shots, but they're starting now to take some information on ace. So the rotates could come over, but it looks like a heavy contact play from ENCE. Dotto's peeks up first. Jerry's first to fall. Norvi in towards his long side, peeking into the cubby. Staying alive for the moment. Rotates have arrived. D-Ha next to fall. Behind the pillar is Hades. He knows where Norvi is. He's pre-firing, but Norvi stays alive. Bomb will be planted, but it's a man advantage here for forZe.
Yeah, and Hades is incredibly low. Plus, ENCE's made moves behind. Well-placed molly, but they're not defusing behind it. Now they finally go in. Is there enough time for Snappy to close the gap? No. It wouldn't have mattered anyway, because Zorti's AWP on point.
Yeah, and that smoke alone has just isolated both players in towards that dark, that cave area. Snappy, he's repositioned. Spinx, though, is trapped behind this ramp smoke. Smoke on the bomb. He comes through the smoke to Spinx to find one, but his teammates falling thick and fast. ENCE on the stick. Snappy can't connect with the spray. That was on a knife edge, the whole after part, but forZe, they live to fight another round. Bomb, though, Vince. That's actually towards A, so a lot of kind of presence shown here from Dotto. It's a bit of a fake.
Oh, a fake, and it's just got a whole lot worse now as ENCE has been laid to rest. Jerry, in the meanwhile, though, trying his utmost best to keep them into this round. Smoke off onto the CT side, cordons off that area. D-Hack can focus his attention as Spinx lays in wait. 25 kills, make it 26 to his name. He has been an absolute monster this game. And now Jerry and Shalfie, can they feasibly justify going for this, knowing how much is at stake? That yes, they can afford a buy, but a couple players are going to be feeling worse for wear. So Shalfie has to pull the plug. Has to get out of there, and that will put ENCE into 8 map points.
Taking a little bit of time for them to find traction here on T-side, but Hades opening that one up. DreamHack, though, the real man of the hour. 3 kills from him, but at least give themselves an opportunity. Smoke starting to rain over. Kind of doing a base setup here, actually. 2 players up close in Jerry and Norvi there. Guy just first to face. He gets traded. 2 more players. Jerry peeks out. Norvi, look at his HP. Only 23 remaining. He still finds a frag. Hades, though, trade straight back. 1-on-1. Map on the line. And Hades delivers. ENCE 1 map to the good. And they looked phenomenal on forZe's map pick of coming through heaven. Oh, Jerry. Look at Jerry. I didn't even know that spot existed. He will be dropped eventually, but it was a nice idea. 3-on-3 now, not for long. Norvi finds another. As Vince, this has been complete chaos.
Complete chaos, but what we do know once the smoke is cleared is that ENCE are a player behind, but also DreamHack is limping his way towards the site. Coming out, they will get a freebie of a plant down. None of forZe can deny this unless Shalfie goes for the peak, which he does. I thought Hades had DreamHack covered. I think DreamHack felt the same way. And now Hades going to be dialing in the numbers and gets double peak. They deny the bomb plant on top of it. That's a huge win for forZe. And they have both sides of the spectrum. The aggression of the MP9, as he's saying, that passive style Zorti's AWP. Flashes are good onto the site. ENCE decide not to go full on, all guns blazing, or perhaps they will. Tons of flashes, consecutive flashes to the back of the site, but Norway is still here, still kicking, still claiming frag. 3 headshots in quick succession, and this A side hit has been well and truly busted. 2 frags, that won't be good enough for ENCE though. I feel like a huge component of ENCE on both sides of Nuke is Hades. A lot of the rounds live or die off their AWP, and he's yet to really have too much impact. Now, to be fair to him, haven't seen him with that AWP just yet. Norvi will be called upon once again. His teammate's gone down, and DreamHack with the MAC-10 takes off his head. A terrible buy from ENCE, but it's yielded so much in return. It should be a post-plant. Kenzie can't stop this just yet.
Whilst their rifle round looks pretty lackluster, they go for an A hit immediately again, and this time it works out in...
But it will be a one and done. DreamHack low, but still trying to just brute force his way outside of the squeaky door. And Hades plucks out the frag onto Shalfie. A 3-on-3. So much time left, but Zorti in a fantastic spot to just suddenly flank and pincer in. But he gets caught in transition. Jerry, in the meanwhile, goes and doubles up with his frags. The bomb's been spilled down, and it's looking great for forZe. They've picked up their 5th. That means that Shalfie can just sit here and wait for quite a bit longer now.
Oh, Kenzie had no idea Dosso could be up close, and Norvi also caught out of position, and I'm not sure what happened there, Vince. It might have been a communication mistake, because they clearly had no clue that Dosso could have worked himself so close, and he's not giving away that information. Dosso, though, he's up on Mustang as a T-side player. You don't see that so much, so...
If he relayed that information to the rest of his team and it kind of caught them off guard. Either way, forZe now have dwindled their economy. They're still able to squeak out one more buy, and that may be good enough, because Shalfie and Kenzie just push the aggression outside, and they yield 3 kills.
Looking so much more proactive on the CT side of Nuke than on the T side of Ancient. That's what they need. Balls to the wall, get aggressive, stop showing these ENCE players so much respect, and it works out perfectly. Shalfie, the young gun, the inexperienced player, sell a little bit of presence when clearly we can see on the minimap that bomb is towards Squeaky, and the flashbang doesn't blind anybody for the moment. Jerry can get double peaks here, but look at the spacing, Vince. Where's the trade? Jerry gets out with his life, and they're in a 5-on-3, no trades at all. Now Hades is coming in, but Jerry, I thought he's going to win that duel, but he doesn't. 4-on-3, Norvi called upon again behind this silo position, and he's so good here. forZe again looking magnificent. Hades, he has to save.
It's the same question, though. I'll ask you the same question you just posed to me. Where were the counter frags? Norvi just got 2 kills at the back of silo. and made it look like the easiest couple frags of his life. There was no urgency. There was no pace being picked up, and Hades may not even be allowed to save this orb. He just narrowly gets away with it.
Hades, a little bit of a boost, but Shelby sees the barrel. He sees the barrel. Hades is dropped. Spinks surely seems to follow. Oh, a bit of an awkward spray. Kenzie's here to bail him out, though. Just 2 remaining, and even economic damage might be a stretch here for ENCE.
forZe have a good idea of the situation. They're going to be barreling down on Snappy. How is your AWPing? Can you hold the line? 5 seconds to play with. If he dies after time, it's going to be so horrendous, and that's exactly what comes to pass.
In towards that old toxic area. Dotto finds the first. Why is the bomb running up towards ramp and not just getting stuck? What's happened here for ENCE? The bomb is dropped, and it's in the hands of the CTs now.
Some mismanagement once again on the side of ENCE as DreamHack gets one quick fire headshot onto Jerry. Nicely done. But now Dotto and Hades, but they still haven't picked up the bomb. And with 25 seconds left, one of these 2 Ts has to go in for it. You have to just throw in the Hail Mary. Try and make a play. HG up and over, and there's the frag behind it they're looking for. Post plant comes into play, and Norvi, who has been a man on a mission on the A site, now has to show us his versatility on the other side. Waiting for that smoke to clear, AK in hand. He has no idea where these 2 Ts are. One in shadow, one behind new box. Gonna come in. There's the spray. It's good. There's no counteractive frag, but there it is. Finally, ENCE show us something. And Spinks is woefully out of position as well. He was back towards the T side of the roof. Fortunately, though, Hades is able to alleviate some of the pressure that was mounting alongside DreamHack. Such important frags. And Norvi gets battered through the doors before Hades finishes him off. And maybe ENCE will get their hands on another round yet. It will be a 4th. And Shelby needs to be very careful here. Just getting out of the bomb detonation range, so we'll be able to hold on to this AUG. 4 rounds on ENCE, though. They'll keep their last 2 players alive, and with those 2 saved weapons, they'll be good to buy again. Zorti, though, will be taking a nap for the final time in this half. As Snappy plunges him out. Shelby's still in position, but Hades had not budged an inch. Had his sights trained on that location. Snappy comes in for a second, and now it's starting to look better, but Jerry's actually just lined them up. 2 frags becomes 3. Hades is put in his place. And from a 5-on-2, suddenly it's a 2-on-2. A 5-on-2. And then Jerry lines them up, knocks them down like dominoes. Snappy is going to fall to Norvi, and forZe take the 11-4 half. And it felt like ENCE had every opportunity, even though it's a very rough half. If they win the pistol, for me, they were straight in this one. Maybe Spinks can still bring this one back from the jaws of defeat, or perhaps not, because D has been knocked to 13, and it certainly will be unlucky for ENCE this time. forZe, with their second pistol and a 12th round on top of it, they are looking imperious. They're looking so much better. A far cry from the ancient performance.
And as you said, had ENCE picks up the pistol round here.
That is pretty crazy. Spinks, in the meanwhile, though, speak of the man, is about to fend off potentially against some players on ramp, but instead he's going to go down. Actually takes a frag with him, but Snappy has fallen. And with his life being deemed forfeit, ramp control falls the way of the T's.
2 already down, though, for ENCE, so it's not all she wrote just yet. DreamHack here in towards control is spotted very early on as Dotto coming out of the single door. Felt like a sliver of an opportunity there, but not long for this world. DreamHack also taken down 13-4, and
a safeguard on that A side. So many multi-frags. And it could be one of the last passages of play of this map as Dotto and Spinks do put down 2 kills. Zorti's also been dropped low, and the frags coming through thick and fast. ENCE actually have something to be proud about in this round. A good hold, but it has to be one of many, and they can't take their eye off the prize. This round isn't done just yet. Still with a minute left on the clock, could put the Hurt Locker in effect, and he gets peeked. Oh, the only thing that saved Snappy there was the barrier. He tagged him through the barrier, otherwise Snappy was a goner.
At least show a little bit what they're capable of before we go into that third and final map. And Jerry, he's on a complete tear, fast over silo, on towards the mini area, but he does get traded out in the end. 3-on-3. Oh, this is so chaotic on this A-bomb side. Look at the bomb. It's still out towards the lobby. Dotto coming through the top of heaven. Top of a hut even. Falls next. And what on earth is going on, Vince? This is complete madness.
I have no answer for you. I'm just strapping myself in and letting this round wash over me as Hades lets the bullets wash over his head.
Just complete madness. Who even knows what's going on at this point? And yeah, at least from the mentality perspective, it'd be so nice for ENCE just to stabilize and at least show, you know, some good CT setups, some good individual plays. Faster was out though of forZe. Hades around this red crate. A lot of damage. Spinks on that auto shot. We'd love to see it. Man advantage now for ENCE. Feels like the first one of those for a while.
And Snappy has the cover cross. Great shot from Snappy. That should be the round done now. Shalvy's living on borrowed time, and Spinks about to collect. Whether he can collect in time, though, to pay off the debt for the life of Snappy has now been answered.
Aggressively on out is Hades. Still no open players. What on earth is going on here? Jerry dancing on the ladder. Does find the first frag.
That's bad news. That's just got a whole lot worse. Hades thwarted by Zorti's AK. And a 2-on-5. Even with two players sub 10 HP, this feels like it's a done deal. Dotto's lost his head. Snappy has to clutch a 1v5. First frag gift wraps itself across to him in the form of a weakened Zorti. There's still a smoke in his eyes. AK next to him, Molotov behind. And yet another grenade. Wherever Snappy moves, there's HEs and bullets firing his way, and it's going to be ENCE that gets the job done.
Well, well, well. They might have lost the first map in very...
It will be a post-plant. Now, the problem here for forZe is they've effectively played for the retake at this stage, but they have no grenades, they have no kits either, so it's going to have to be quick-fire frags, thick and fast, and that's what ENCE is bringing to the table. Novi, again, is delivering. One of the big hitters on Nuke has not slowed down a yard or two. Snappy in the meanwhile, though, trying to regain that form that we saw him pick up on the Ancient side, but he's been dealt the fatal blow from Novi as well. And Spinks just gets utterly battered. And even though they had no kit, they still stick the landing for the defuse. There are components already up close on Connector. ENCE have already taken a lot of bitter body blows here. And they don't have really that much utility. They've got two smokes, a flash, and a couple Molotovs. But from this point, Alan, this feels like it's a really difficult task for ENCE to get anything from this round.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I was just about to say that Zorte on that AWP would be very unexpected, but DR doing so much work. Jerry, though, chiming in. He's underneath the balcony, and Shalfie coming off Cat. Spinks, though, which way is he going to look? Norvi jiggling out. The timing is not with Spinks and forZe. That was looking very nerve-wracking for a few seconds, but...
So another solid start. It's unconfirmed damage, but that certainly is confirmed as ENCE sees the scoreboard light up with a kill feed on top of it. That Hades makes short work of him before pushing into B alone. There are players coming through the contingent of B apps, but the bomb's been spilled, and Novi continues to be a nightmare for ENCE. This man cannot be contained. Occupied. DreamHack, big pick onto ENCE. I can't remember too many times here, Alan, where they've actually got the opening pick ENCE, but it's instantly counteracted.
Yeah, indeed. And actually the thing to look for here is an information play, but Shalfie beats everybody to the punch. He just swings out window, takes two heads for his collection. Zorte, that's the bomb. He can't connect. But Norvi peeks out off the contact. Bomb is dropped. Smoke onto his top connector. 15 seconds. Spinks. Gotta be real here. I think it's time to save. Back off. This is completely unwinnable unless forZe make a truly gargantuan mistake. It's going to be 6-0. Spinks saving over this AK as well. There is a slight opportunity here for a buy, but he's going to die after time, and that swiftly traded. He's pulling a few rotates, though. Jerry, though, into the firebox. Gets the first, just about claims a second to hold off this defense. Hades, though, is on the biggest flank to end all big flanks.
The problem with this flank, though, is if Snappy were to fall, it's going to have limited efficiency. And if Hades gets picked off here from Northy, who checks his 6 out of nowhere, he has eyes in the back of his head. His spidey sense was tingling, and Snappy gets one, but that's it. forZe off to a 7-0 lead on their CT side.
Zorte doesn't connect initially. Bomb is still, though, grouped towards the B apartment, and it's Shalfie who's going to be called upon. Misses the first shot, but pulls out some nice KZ, let's be honest, to get out of dodge. Snappy does get a trade, so it is one frag, but they haven't killed any of these B defenders. Die, though, chimes in. Hades with a second, and what should have been an insurmountable defense crumbles just like that.
ENCE 1 HP. Using that smoke to bypass the aggression more than anything else. I think they're going to pull the plug and save. His teammates died around him, and he was gifted his first death. And the first round to ENCE will follow.
Looks like Shalfie is posted up on the AWP from that ticket position. Jerry on the off angle. Top of balcony. Now that is a very important first pick. Spinks chimes in with a second. It should have been a great defense, and it falls apart just like the previous round. The individuals are bailing ENCE out so hard right now.
Problem is, though, you can't bank too much off individual performances. It has to be a team effort. The bomb's now been denied as well. Zorte had the right read. Time is dwindling away. The sands of time running dry. And Norvi able to relocate, made noise dropping down into Sandwich. Maybe a bit of an experience showing itself there. They didn't need to force it. They could have waited. And instead, Zorte is going to trade out 1 for 1. And the round will go the way of ENCE.
They're far from in the clear. Spinks, though, again, man, he is literally carrying them so hard right now with these opening picks. He is the only thing that stands between ENCE and elimination right now, in my opinion. Another frag comes in for Snappy. Very spread out for the moment from ENCE, so really working with the individuals. Jerry's recovered that AWP. We don't see him on the AWP so much, so maybe first time highlight's going to follow as Shalfie almost connects with the second.
He's making this a bit more costly on the side of ENCE, but there are Spinks, and I think Elliot did put up a stat earlier on saying that Spinks will allow ENCE the luxury of dividing this map a little bit more thinly spread as a result. Plus, when you look at the utility belt, definitely favors ENCE in that regard as well, but they've now just lost DreamHack. Their component, the Lurk prospect in the Palace, has been dethroned, and now Snappy has to try and make some moves over on the B side of the map. He's going to make noise once he drops down. Player on the boxes is Norvi. 15 kills to his name. Maybe gets 16. He gets traded out, but he should have done enough. On the cross snap, he gets caught, and he gets shot down to 18 HP as well before being finished off by Shalvi. Whatever happens, come the second half, forZe will be leading, as they've already hit 8. FAMAS in play. Norvi doesn't have much funds behind this, and Zorte gets flashed into the frag, and that will open up A.
Kenzie, though, trying to find some replies around the stairs position in the molly. Spinks, though, gets a very, very important trade. Jerry, again, swinging out from this jungle area. Not enough utility, really, to isolate it, but it doesn't matter. Norvi left alone. He's been the star player for the CT side here on the CT. Oh, he peeks out from CT, and he gets both. The timing is magnificent. Hades is looking the wrong way. And my God, that might be a incredibly important clutch. 9 now for forZe. Ever strong on the defense. Kenzie flashed out. There's a lot of damage on towards Snappy, but Hades somehow is the first to chime in with a frag. Mid control now in the hands of ENCE, as DreamHack picks up Shalfie pushing. So this round is looking good, but we've seen them drop advantages already here. They simply have to close this one out.
Yeah, this is another very important, integral round. Hades puts the one giant leap, one giant step towards that mark. And Norvi's in a very interesting off angle. Not one that you're typically going to check from Spinks' perspective. Yeah, you can see he's looked left and right, but Norvi's made a dog's dinner out of the spray. How did Spinks just survive that?
The flash as well coming over. I'm very surprised I didn't catch Norvi even worse. The lurker, Dotto coming up from mid, and
of that information, a 1-for-1 trade comes in, but Zorte, who had already gone into the ladder room, should be caught in window if he pushes down. Spinks is going to push in. He's not controlling the bomb, though, and Norvi punishes that lax in communication and goes one better. forZe maybe able to take this round down. The AWP plays DreamHack, and Zorti does not miss. forZe will lead in the second half 10-5. Oh, the pressure is on. Make no mistake about it, and Spinks has to come to that pressure. It's a bait and switch though. Snappy has tailor-made weapons for this position. 2 kills, won't become 3. He gets cut down where he stands. And now Shalfie goes in with his Glock. Post plant will be taking shape. Hades instantly juiced around the corner, and ENCE finishes him off. Dotto also takes a stray bullet to the dome and gets finished off additionally. We said it was a must-win round, but forZe come out again successful.
Hades, USP in hand. It's got to be Dinks all the way. He's got to connect probably twice to the Dinks to find a kill here. And the molly under balcony. So composed from forZe. Under pressure, business end of the map, and they're taking it so slow, playing together, working through the angles. They're stacked up here actually, Dotto and Snappy. The only chance they're going to get. Tagged up is Dotto, does find one, but swiftly traded. Snappy though, he might not be checked. Peeking out at a great timing, drops the first. Bomb in the open, recovered by Norvi, now planted behind default. Snappy is going to peek out, moving in towards triple. It was a great attempt by Snappy, but Norvi puts forZe up to 13. In terms of riflers of Norvi's caliber, there seems to be an endless pipeline, but Kenzie chimes in with the first. Snappy swiftly traded. He's playing around the bench position. Kenzie again cannot find another. DreamHack locking down this bomb site. So a reasonably comfortable round from ENCE, but still a heck of a lot of work to do here. Will be in the pudding. Zorte peeking out Hades, left side of window, ready and waiting. Smoke on towards underpasses. DreamHack should have been winning that duel every day of the week. Fortunately for him, Hades is punching in a great couple of frags.
And Snappy may have just made a mess of this round, or perhaps not. Dotto is keeping the dream alive before a bullet passes between his eyes, and the plant will be coming in because Hades is smoked off.
Shalfie in that right side of connector. Hades not ready for that one. Spinks knows where Shalfie is, but it doesn't matter.
Although the weaponry certainly favors forZe, this can quickly get out of control if well-placed spray comes into effect. Now DreamHack takes a battering, but he holds his resolve and his nerve to take down the frag on the ramp. And is funneling the T's into awkward positions. Flash down. No mollies though to deal with it. Double flash allows Jerry to go for the wide swing. He deals a fatal blow to DreamHack before turning his attention towards Shadow. But he will be thwarted away. And Dotto moves up onto the balcony. Snappy comes out to lend him a helping hand. And ENCE will seal the deal. They keep themselves in this. So much more difficult. The only good news is they haven't retrieved that rifle just yet. They're trying to get their hands on it. It's going to be costing them so much. It was fool's gold. And Snappy snatches away the life of 2 players. Norvi's still alive, but he will trade up to the M4. Zorti's landed the Deeg. D has sent packing. And now Hades and Spinks. Oh, it's only on Hades, and he has to get out of there. He has to just leave the site. This is so deadly and so difficult to deal with if you're ENCE. It's now 8 match points, 8 qualifying points to the playoffs for forZe. But on the other side, it's 8 elimination points for ENCE.
What I would give to see that shot from Kenzie again. That honestly
will be hungry to pick up this first frag. And, you know, if they get this cleanly, there is a fast track towards the site. DreamHack with 1 and a second. The bomb gets spilled down. DreamHack triple. Could go in for 4. Runs out of ammunition. That's the only thing that saves Shalvi's life. And that will not be good enough on the side of forZe. They need these Deagles to sing out a couple more times. And instead, Norvi's life is cut short.
Can Snappy get here in time? It doesn't feel like it. He's pushing all the way through the T side of the palace area, and he does get the frag. Dies after time.
The only problem is there's no flash to precede that waterfall and really skew with any of the vision. Hades and Dotto are just going to be in the thick of the action. And honestly, it's one of those situations, right? You probably prefer an MP9 over something like an M4 because of the superior fire rate against no armor.
And although they're going to be able to expend a lot of it, getting out here into mid, it could be all more difficult actually splitting a bomb site. Hades aggressively in connector. Can't quite connect. There's a bit of damage, but actually it's DreamHack that chimes in first and a second. He loves playing around this connector position. Maybe the Polish powerhouse is just starting to warm up. Another 3K from DreamHack. He is holding ENCE in this map right now. Difficulty for Snappy, though, is how do you juggle this catwalk and the apartment's position? And he was looking the right way, but Jerry chimes in first. Dotto, then, the sole player standing between ENCE and group stage elimination. Jerry is actually always on the catwalk corner. He can't quite find the frag, but that's all the information. Surely this is completely impossible, this 1-on-2.
Oh, his reaction said it all. Could probably just hear a little perkele underneath his voice there as he realized, how do we let this one slip? How did they lose a 2v5? And how did they lose to forZe 2-1? ENCE has been eliminated.